I'm Christine Lisi. After missing 2 days of spring training workouts, Yankees righty Marcus Stroman reported today, insisted he's ready to make 30-plus starts and will not pitch out of the bullpen. Problem, he is not projected to make New York's starting rotation. NFL, the Giants looking into the possibility of selling up to 10% of the team, putting a limited stake in the franchise on the market. A member of the Lions front office is leaving for Notre Dame. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Director of Scouting Advancement Mike Martin's finalizing a deal to become the GM of the Fighting Irish. He was part of Detroit's initial front office staff that helped rebuild the Lions roster. The Democratic Republic of Congo calling on the NBA, Formula One, and major international soccer clubs to end multi-million-dollar deals with Rwanda's autocratic government. The DRC's blamed Rwanda for a surge of violence in its own country.
We aren't a winning school. We are a championship school, and we make legends. Join the Crimson Tide as they look to continue to rise to the top of the NCAA basketball mountain on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant. It's now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On Thursday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we were joined by women's basketball forward Aaliyah Nye.
It's been really fun. I enjoy this team that we have. I enjoy the coaches that we have this season. And I think it's just been a fun season. Obviously, I want to expand my game more just in case people take away my three-point shot. So I worked on a lot of dribbling, pull-ups, and just my mentality, just staying focused and just getting in the gym as much as I can and working with my teammates. We had a lot of new faces, so just trying to get them acclimated to playing Alabama basketball.
How much pride do you take in your defense?
I actually love defense. I feel like people don't really know that. I like to play defense. I like to get stops, and that's something that I take pride in. I don't want anyone to score on me. So I really enjoy defense, and I don't know if a lot of people know that, but I do like to play defense for sure.
I'll have more in a moment.
Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers, an Alabama tailgate tradition. Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965, Guthrie's has been a Bama fan favorite for years. From your hometown to college towns all around, Guthrie's is still serving the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe, just like always, fresh, hot, and fast. Make Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers the MVP of your next tailgate. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
We've got you covered for Alabama basketball against Auburn in a 1-versus-2 matchup on Saturday. Tip-off is set for 3 p.m. from Coleman Coliseum, with our coverage on the network beginning at 2 p.m. Central. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown and you believe you?
The lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. Listening to another station I don't understand. Nobody does it like Tom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. They go up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Tom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Somebody respond.
What? What? What?
What, did you think because the football season is over that it's not Football Friday in the doghouse? You think you weren't going to hear this? To open Football Friday in the doghouse? What? This is our first Football Friday in the doghouse since the end of the football season. And for those of you that are new listeners in the audience, you're not hearing wrong. You're not hearing wrong. I mean, it's Football Friday. It's always Football Friday. It's all 26 years. It's always Football Friday on the Thom Abraham Show. We have spring ball coming up. We got the combine. We got the UFL. We got the draft. We got the OTAs. We got the mini camps. We got SEC media days. We got high school media days. We got the Hall of Fame game, the preseason, college camps. Then he actually goes live for high schools on August 22nd. Then we got week 0 in college football the next day, August 23rd. It's all just 189 days away. And there is plenty to do until then. So welcome to Football Friday, where we do. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about right there. We got your Football Friday. Also today, the Friday trifecta is over.
It's the Friday trifecta.
And what I do is between now and 189 days from now, when the football picks up, is I do special weekends. If there's special stuff going on, I'll do a Friday trifecta, standalone. It's no grand trifecta or anything like that. I do a standalone Friday trifecta. And on this Football Friday, where we've got some basketball, we've got some NASCAR, we've got some baseball, we got some hockey, of course, we got some football. Who knows? We maybe even get a soccer note in there. Hopefully not, but we might. We might get a soccer note in there. You never know. But the Friday trifecta is still alive for special events. And this weekend has some serious special events. I mean, there is some really good stuff going on this weekend. So I am bringing you a pure trifecta this weekend. 3 picks to make. That's it. And you're playing for $50 at Carrabba's Italian Grill. This is a standalone deal just right now, just this deal here. And everybody who hits it will get something. We'll draw for the Carrabba's, and then anybody else who hit it, we'll throw you something. We'll take care. We'll touch you up. We got a prize folder. We'll touch you up. I'm going to give it to you right now. I'm going to drop it on you right now. You might have seen it in the social. Maybe not. Who knows? I'll drop it on you right here. We have got tomorrow afternoon, 3:00. The Auburn Tigers. Eagle. Get 1.5. The line is out now. Get 1.5 in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
A couple of classics right there. Chuck and Avery. Give us a little Roll Tide. Little Roll Tide there. Tomorrow night, 4 Nations hockey. It's the USA. In a pick'em at Canada.
Conversations around 51st state are a non-starter. It's never going to happen.
You never know. You never know. Let me tell you something. Those folks up there, there's a lot. That game is in Montreal. If they make it to the championship game, they'll play the championship game in Boston. That game is in Montreal, and there's a lot of animosity going on up there. Those people up there, their reaction to President Trump saying that they ought to be the 51st state has them fired up. Last night, they booed through the entire U.S. national anthem before the U.S.-Finland game. They were like catcalling and booing the Canadians in the crowd. Because then when it was over, the Americans in the crowd, there was a lot more Americans in the crowd. They just cheered like crazy. But the Canadians in the crowd were like catcalling and booing the entire U.S. national anthem. That you're upset that we're going to take your Canadian bacon away from you. But don't boo our national anthem. That ain't classy. Don't do that. I hope in the U.S., in Boston, when they play the Canadian national anthem, and they're going to play there, so they will play the Canadian national anthem, whether it's against the U.S. or not. I hope that the Americans don't boo. Don't boo Canada. Don't boo. They got good beer. They got bacon up there, the Canadian bacon. Let's not do that. And the third element of the trifecta, Sunday at Daytona. All you got to give me is a manufacturer. Who's going to win that race? Ford, Chevy, or Toyota?
Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car.
No, he didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
Shake it back. Does that feel good? Yeah. It rhymes. They're both verbs.
Awesome. The front row is a Toyota and a Ford. The duels were won last night by a Toyota and a Ford. But there are more Chevys in the field than anything else. Some of the best drivers in the field, like the Hendrick cars, are Chevys. Basically, half the field is Chevy. All right, we welcome those of you watching on WZZN TV, our YouTube channel, on the X as well. You can watch it there. I think you can watch it on Facebook. I don't know, but I think you can. You check that out if you haven't yet. We welcome our listeners on 97.7 ESPN, the app, that are listening there. That's a good place to listen to this deal as well. We also want to welcome those listening in Winchester on ESPN Winchester. Phone lines are the same everywhere, 256-576-4977. You can text the show at 7329-TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. It is a great way to communicate with us. My X feed is at Tom Abraham Show. Zone is on X, 97.7 ESPN. Go ahead and give a follow to ESPN Winchester, too. And speaking of apps, go ahead and snag all of those apps. The Zone app, the Talk Radio WZZN app for more great programming, the ESPN Winchester app for all your great content. And hey, turn your mic off in there. I don't want to hear you talking to the people. There you go. And then also, we got all our additional channels. I mean, we got the Havoc Zone. We got the Charger Zone. We got 2 Charger Zones because we got baseball and softball out there on the Charger Zone 3 or whatever. I think we're calling it Charger Softball, Charger Zone Softball, something like that. We got it all. I mean, we got everything. We got everything. Wherever you're listening, we got everything. If you're listening in Winchester, you get Tennessee. And we got it all. It's all covered for you. Don't forget about your big zone deals, by the way. You can find the link at 977ESPN.com. And look, it's Valentine's Day. And nothing is more romantic than fine Italian food. So how about getting $50 worth of Carrabba's Italian Grill for just $25 today, right now? While supplies last, you can make the purchase, and then you get the certificate instantly. We also have a one-day deal there for Cherokee Ridge Golf Club. $50 for 2 guys in a cart. Works for the ladies, too, while supplies last. Now, on the show today, at the bottom of the hour, my good friend and colleague, the Wizard of Odds. You know him as John Boy Dewey Magoo. Magoo is a heck of a handicapper. I don't know if you knew that about Magoo. He's a numbers geek, and he's a heck of a handicapper. And he and I have a new venture coming up called Value Line Sports, which is debuting in the not-too-distant future for you. John has a take on the Alabama-Auburn game. I don't know that we would recommend this game because this is one you just sit back and watch. It's too, maybe too hard to pick. I don't know if there's great value in this on either side. He'll tell us. We got some other nuggets for you, and we're going to tell you how the sausage is made. And we'll tell you how you can get Value Line Sports in the future. You're going to have the opportunity to subscribe to Value Line Sports and get our selections, which is really good. At the top of the one today, motorsports writer Jordan Bianchi of The Athletic is in with his take on the 500 and the upcoming season. Now, that one's a tough one to handicap. The Daytona 500 is so random Any plate race, very, very tough to handicap that thing. Very difficult. But we'll talk to Jordan about that and the season as it's coming up. Now, back in mission control, Joe has got some UAH baseball assignments today. So playing the platters that matter and the stacks of wax and answering the phones and living large and in charge on a Friday, the very capable Captain Cool.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put the thing together on a spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son. I don't like violence, Tom. I'm a businessman.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
You ain't first. You're last. He's got Abraham now.
What a catch! What a catch! A leaping catch at the 45-yard lines, and he brings it in.
All right, we're going to open the show with breaking news, John.
All right.
How you doing, John? You good?
I'm good. I just left because I was like, oh, the breaking news might be a little bit more important.
Yeah. Breaking news.
Yeah.
The start of the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, has been moved up 1 hour from 2:30 Eastern to 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 our time. So the race was supposed to start at 1:30 Central Time, and now it'll start at 12:30 Central Time, which puts a little bit of pressure on me. Of course, I got the recorder machine going, but I don't get out of church until 12, and then I take your mother to get some brunch, and I usually don't get back to the crib until about 12:50 or so. So I'll just have to put it on the on the recording thing there, and the race is being moved up an hour because of potential bad weather moving in. So there you go.
Yeah, we talked to Grace Anello on the Blitz earlier, and she told us a little bit more about the weather that's coming into the Tennessee Valley area, but I don't expect it to be too much different going down there in Daytona. And on top of that, it's actually working better for me because I'm going to be doing my taxes on Sunday, and it's going to be at like around 6. So I'm going to be able
you got a tax person?
I'm going to be
people?
I'm going to be making it in and out in good time.
Why do you need a people to do your taxes? I mean, your taxes are simple to do. Go to they got the website there. You go to the Rocket. Why is it difficult for you to do taxes?
You know, I got a little side hustle going.
I know you got a side hustle going. I hope you're covering all your expenses, and someday you don't even have. Hey, by the way, you can. By the way, do you know? Did YouTube TV do that thing? Did they drop CBS or did they come up with Did they get an agreement last minute?
I have no idea. I haven't used YouTube TV in a minute.
I got to check that because I got you. Let me tell you something. If they dropped CBS. I mean, CBS, great sports, no doubt about it. Of course, the Masters is coming up on CBS, the March Madness on CBS. But if they drop CBS, not all of them, but most of our favorite cop shows are on CBS. A lot of the shows Tracker is on CBS. A lot of the shows that we watch are on CBS, your mother and I. And if they drop CBS, I'm going to have to drop YouTube. They better. I hope that didn't happen. I'll have to double check it.
That'd be crazy. You really do love your cop shows. I mean, you've been watching
I love
all of my life.
We watch Law and Order, all 3 of them. We watch, the Law and Order, the original, SVU, Organized Crime. We watch all of the Law and Orders. We watch all of the Chicago, Fire, Med, PD. Watch all of that. We watch the FBI, and then we now got into FBI International. So we're watching FBI and the FBI. No, we watch FBI, FBI Most Wanted, and FBI International. So Tuesday night is FBI night. Wednesday night is Chicago night with Med, Fire, and PD. All right, so that's a Tuesday night thing. And then we watch, and Thursday night is Law and Order night. And we watch the Law and Order and the Law and Order SVU, and then the Organized Crime.
I remember you watching CIA, was it Miami or something like that?
NCIS.
NCIS.
We watch NCIS. Yep. No, that was, what was that thing called? That wasn't NCIS. A CSI Miami. We watched CSI, the regular CSI. Then we watched, which was based in Vegas. Then we watched CSI Miami
They had a
and
New Orleans.
CSI New York. And know that NCIS is New Orleans.
Oh, my
We
gosh.
did watch. NCIS New Orleans had the kid on it from Decatur. There was a kid on the NCIS New Orleans from Decatur, Alabama.
I'm going to be honest with you. I only thought there was the FBI and the CIA, but there is a lot. The closest thing I watched to any of those shows is American Dad.
American Dad is nothing like any of
He
those
works
shows.
in the CIA.
Oh, does he? So now, and we watch NCIS. We've watched NCIS forever. Gibbs, NCIS. We watch NCIS. I can't get Mom to watch NCIS Sydney. We watched NCIS LA for a little while. We didn't watch all of that. That's the one with LL Cool J. I love LL Cool J. We watched that a little bit.
That's a good one, yeah.
That was a good one. And now we're watching NCIS Origins, which is back in the 90s. It's Leroy Jethro Gibbs before it became NCIS. So it's like it's a prequel, if you will. It's kind of like how they're doing with the what's that thing there with the Yellowstone? You know how Yellowstone is 1892 and 1923 and all that kind of stuff.
What was that? What was that one show? And it was Point. No. It was a Canadian cop show that we used to all watch together. It was like Point Break.
Yeah.
Point.
Break Point. Fast
Maybe.
Break. No, Breakfast. Breakfast.
We'll finish. We'll figure out the rest of that.
Yeah,
That's what
that
I'm
was
saying.
a good show.
That's what I'm saying.
Canadian.
You thought about
that was a Canadian one. And I've heard that they're going to be the 30 or the 51st state pretty soon. That's at least. I mean, I don't know. That's what I heard.
Conversations around a 51st state are a non-starter. It's never gonna
Flashpoint.
happen.
Flashpoint.
That's what it was.
Flashpoint. That was good. So they're going to have the national anthem. You know who's doing the national anthem at the Daytona 500?
Darius Rucker.
Pitbull. Because Pitbull's big time in the NASCAR. Is a part owner. I might have just made that up. You'll have to look that up. I think
he is.
Pitbull.
Yeah. Daniel Suarez, he was under his team, all of that stuff. You're right.
So a Pitbull. And then after the Pitbull, so he's gonna do everything is backed up an hour. So Pitbull will do the national anthem. Then the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds are performing a flyover at the conclusion of the national anthem. So the good news is for me is I will get this in now. I got to go back to church at 5:00. We go back to church at 5. And so I got a nice window to get the Daytona 500 in. Tomorrow is where I got a little issue, John, because tomorrow we got Alabama Auburn at 3. So that'll be over about 5:30. Okay. Tomorrow night, I'm going with friends. We got invited. Your mother and I got invited with friends to go to Tullahoma, Tennessee, 6:00 to 7:30 to see the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America Concert Band. I have no idea. Styles, are you listening? I know you're Navy. I think you were Navy. I don't know what this is, but I love the military and I love a big band. You know what I mean? I love band music. Like a marching band type of thing. So I assume that this U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America Concert Band, I think Brandon was in the Air Force. Maybe he knows what it is. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited about it. And we're going with a bunch of friends. All right? So my ticket. So we're going to that thing. But, I mean, you got America. You got America playing Canada in the and John, I know you used to be a Preds fan. I know they kind of suck this year. There are times when you're into hockey, but you really, really should be watching this Four Nations stuff. The first 2 games were amazing. The U.S. last night, it was 2-1 going into the third period, and they opened up a can in the third period on Finland. They scored 2 goals in the first 18 seconds of the third period, and then they tacked on a couple of more and won 6-1. It was like the Tkachuk night. The Tkachuk brothers had 4 goals between them. 2 each for the 2 Tkachuk boys. But I hope you're watching this stuff. And tomorrow night, I mean, U.S. against Canada, when we're trying to make Canada the 51st state. I mean, come on. This is going to be great.
It should literally be the battle for Canada. I mean, that's what
I
it
think
should
if
be.
you win, I think if the U.S. wins, we should get them as the 51st
But
state.
wait. But what if Canada wins? Could we just give them Montana?
We just give them Massachusetts.
Okay.
No, we don't want to give them Montana. Montana's good old red state. You know what I mean? We want Montana.
Yeah.
That's a good state. Okay. No, let's give them the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That's an evil place. Let's give them Massachusetts. They can have that. They can have the Red Sox. They can have, look, not the Bruins. That's the only thing good. The only thing good in Massachusetts is the Bruins, okay? Everything else is a disaster. So we'll give them Massachusetts if they win, which has about as many people as Canada has. And if we win, we get Canada. And by the way, this whole talk of 51st state is ridiculous. They're way too big to be one state. They need to be the 51st, 52nd, 53rd, and 54th state, right? I mean, each province should be, like Quebec would be a state. Ontario would be a state. Alberta would be a state. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the flag can't be lopsided. We need to just make 100 new states and maybe just like spread out some of those ones. We could.
So what do we got? 50 now? So you could go 55 and add one row or something like that. We could fit in. No, you know what we do is in the star field, we just drop a maple leaf right in the middle of the star field. And then all the stars around, like put one little maple leaf right in the middle. That's your new flag. A little maple leaf right in the middle.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. It's not bad.
And then the star field around it. We already got the red and the white in the flag, with the stripes. We just drop a little maple leaf in there, and we're like, there you are, Canada.
The end all.
You get a maple leaf.
The end all of this flag is just going to be wild in 3010.
I love the idea of Canada being America. I think they should embrace it. I think that President Trudeau, whatever his name is wrong.
Conversations around a 51st state are a non-starter. It's never going to happen.
I think he's making a mistake. I think that bring the maple syrup, eh? Bring us your bacon, eh? Makes all the sense in the world to me. All right, let me get Ron in here quick before we get to John Boy Dewey Magoo. Ron, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, great. How are you guys?
Fantastic. What can I do you for?
Oh, I was going to do the trifecta.
Oh, okay. All right. You want to get into this trifecta? All right, let's start. Auburn gets 1.5 at Alabama.
Whew. I'm going Auburn.
War Eagle.
U.S. Pick'em at Canada.
Got to take USA.
Well, I would hope so. And give me a manufacturer at Daytona, Ford, Chevy, or Toyota.
I'll take Ford.
That's a good job by you.
No, he didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
Mustangs are fast. All right, we got you in, Ron.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. It's a good job by Ron. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, the Wizard of Odds joins us next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
You guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Are you trying to find a new house? Are you trying to find the right loan?
the right people to do your loan? Look no further than the Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green. John Kendall, the vice president of mortgage with me. John, when they need a loan, and I say they, when people need a loan, it's about them.
That's right, Scott. Our whole motto is it's all about you. We're going to be okay. You're the one making the investment. We want to make sure that you're taken care of.
How do they find you?
Give us a call at 256-507-9180, or they can catch us online at bankofFrankEwing.com.
It's Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green, where they take the home loan to you and they make it all about you. Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green is an FDI insured bank, as well as an equal housing lender.
NMLS number 446707.
We aren't a winning school. We are a championship school, and we make legends. Join the Crimson Tide as they look to continue to rise to the top of the NCAA basketball mountain. Every game, all season, right here on your home for Alabama basketball. The Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Just go ahead. Oh, it's a wild one. Look, we're back.
You've been producing shows all day long. You can't produce mine correctly.
I was too busy getting everything else set up. Welcome back into the Thom.
What does it get set up? I mean, you press the button, you put it in there.
Oh,
God,
geez. You should have heard it on my end.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, hopefully, at least I got John Boy Dewey Magoo, the Wizard of Oz, joining us here on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. He's getting him now. I don't even have my guest. What are you doing in there? I don't even have my guest.
All right, so I'll let you know exactly what happened here.
Tell me what happened.
I got 4 computers that I'm currently working on. I put in the,
Why?
because there's 4 computers in here. Here, I'll even show you over on WZZN TV. I'll just, look at this. All right, so I got 1, I got 2, I got 3, I got 4. We're working on all of these here in the studio, and it's wonderful. And it's actually, I've been able to get really good at it. But I was also still posting a tweet while I was also trying to get your music ready, while I was also trying to get that call on.
You see, that's what that between 11 and 12 is when you needed to do that.
Well, yeah, but I had to set some stuff up.
No,
I'll get Johnny on.
All right, get my boy, will you? Good gracious almighty. And these kids these days, they just, you try and you try. Just don't know. All right. While he's doing that, I'll tell you that it's laundry season at Owen Home Appliance Center. So if you're tired of that washer walking out the door or having to dry a load 2 or 3 times, maybe it's time to get a new washer and dryer. And you can pick from brands like Maytag, GE, Whirlpool, Electrolux, and of course Speed Queen. And they even got the 2-in-1 GE Profile that washes and dries a load all in one machine. It is incredible. It's Owen Home Appliance Center. Quality products, quality prices, quality service. It's right there in the name of Owen Home Appliance Center. By the way, I'll be out there at the home show in March 7th. I'll be at the home show, and we'll be doing the show from there at Owen Home Appliance Center. So we're kind of fired up about that as well. All right. I call him the Wizard of Oz. You know him as John Boy Dewey Magoo. It's my boy. He joins us down on Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. John, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, Thom, I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Well, I don't know. I'm a little frustrated with my my fill-in producer today. I don't know. I come back, no music in the bump. He doesn't have my guests ready. Maybe he needs to spend a little bit of time with you. Who used to produce the show with one eye tied behind your back, and it was like nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I could give him some pointers. I mean, but it's Valentine's Day, so maybe cut him a break today.
Let me ask you a question. So you just have daughters, okay?
Yeah.
I have 4 sons and I have 5 daughters. And I have 6 granddaughters, 7, 8 granddaughters, 8 granddaughters and like 6 grandsons. Okay, something like that. Do you say Happy Valentine's Day to your son or grandson, because I sent my daughters and my granddaughters a lovely text this morning, telling them how much I love them all and wishing them a happy Valentine's Day, you're my sweetheart, and all that stuff. But I completely ignore my sons and have.
No, I agree completely with you there. I mean, to me, that would be just a little bit awkward, actually.
Yeah. So you don't wish another dude happy Valentine's Day.
No.
You right?
No.
See, I bet
goes
that
against guy code.
It does. I bet that Joe Hunk and Captain Cool, when they saw each other before they started their show on the Blitz this morning, I bet they wished each other a happy Valentine's Day.
You think so?
I don't know, John.
Joe
John,
may have
you
something
guys
to say about that. You know,
sweet.
No, Joe
Okay.
absolutely hates Valentine's Day. And it's not for the
Wait,
reason.
did you give him a Valentine's Day card?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
But
no?
I did give John a little note this morning. May or may not have been a Valentine's Day card. So,
well, there you go.
I mean, you need to let your homies know.
No, not comfortable with it. John, have you ever gotten a Valentine's Day card from me?
Well, yeah,
maybe from your mother, but never from me.
But
have I ever wished you a happy Valentine's Day?
No, but you're also not single, so sometimes you got to help a homie out.
So if
I don't know.
If I was, wait a minute, I don't know where the hell you're going. I don't know what that has to do with it. Why would I wish you a happy Valentine's Day if I was single?
I gotta let.
You're. Let me tell you something. We're 34 minutes into the show, and I got to tell you, you are sucking right now.
It's hard. You're not letting me finish my train of thought. Look, he's the single one.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's getting any other Valentine's Day messages. Maybe he is, but I just had to let him know that I care.
Oh, you mean your roommate? So you felt like you had to give your roommate, because he doesn't have a girl, you had to give your roommate a Valentine's Day card because he doesn't have a girlfriend. God, this is getting weird, creepier and creepier.
I got a big heart, and also there's too many Johns in this conversation.
I think I'm on the wrong show.
You should. I think he should have had his girlfriend lives with them there. John Magoo. I think he should have had his girlfriend give his roommate a Valentine's card. Maybe that would be less creepier.
Yeah. Forgot about getting her a card.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get anything for her. You just got something for your roommate.
Yeah.
I see. I feel you. I see how you're working. All right. So John, how you doing, man? We've been working hard behind the scenes. Let's tell people just a little bit. We're working hard behind the scenes, building up Value Line Sports, something you've been playing with for a while, and we've joined forces on this. And people, sometime in the very near future, people will be able to subscribe to Value Line Sports and get our picks. And this is something you've done for a while in terms of crunching numbers. You're kind of a numbers geek, right? You got your big old spreadsheet there, and you put all your crap in there and everything, and then it spits out a number, and then you look for value, right? Is that about it?
Yeah, you look for value. You look for market width, for lack of a better term, and before you can find value in a game, the game has to have value, and so there's on any given night, there can be so many, especially in college basketball, there can be so many games out there. And you got to come up with a way to find the value and be able to decipher through all those.
Yeah. And by value, what you mean is a game, say there's a game where a team is a 3 or a 4 point favorite. Yet when you crunch the numbers, it looks like they should be a 7, or 6 or 7.
Right, sure.
Well, that's one that you want to put on the list, because I would imagine that 95% of the games when you crunch the numbers, because I was talking about this with my wife, and she said, "Well, don't the guys, the odds makers, do the same thing?" I said, "Yeah, they do, but there's so many games. You're basically looking for mistakes, right? You're looking for." You only need 2 or 3 games where the line doesn't match what the value is.
Right. Well, the bookmaker, obviously, he's wanting to get 50-50 on either side. And so that's how these lines, opening lines are very important. Opening lines and closing lines are very important. My advice would be to someone, too, if you see a game and that line hasn't really moved any during the week, I might even look at just passing on that, because there's obviously not a whole lot of action or money moving on that, but there's some value to be found in some of the the smaller conferences as well. So it's just you gotta have a plan, you gotta have a system of going through these games and finding the value.
All right. So when we talk about Alabama and Auburn, this is a classic example of a game that is a great, great game. I'm not sure, the sharps are so sharp on it. The number is so tight on it. There is a number out there now. It's Alabama -1.5. I'm not sure this is a game you would necessarily want to give out to the clients. But on the other hand, it is obviously it's a game that we like to talk about here. So what are you thinking? What are your numbers telling you about this game?
All right. Yeah. So obviously everything has really fell into place for this game. Auburn went up to Nashville to play Vanderbilt at Memorial, which is a tough place to play. Got in a little bit of a rock fight. Came out with a 12-point win. They were a 9-point favorite, by the way. I had them. That would have been a play at value line. Alabama went to Texas and just bombarded the Longhorns. I mean, they shot 60% from the field. They shot 59% from behind the arc. They shot 90% from the free throw line. I mean, if they're going to do that again, then you can just forget it. Nobody's going to beat them. The Cavaliers aren't going to beat them. But don't necessarily look for that to happen again. So yeah, this game, I think I told you yesterday, I looked at it as a 1 to 2 point swing towards Auburn. I feel Auburn probably should be favored in this game. Line is opened up around 1.5. In favor. Alabama's a 1.5 point home favorite. Totals right now looks to be around 172. I like the game to probably come in around 175. A lot of interesting things about this game. Both teams against the spread. Alabama's 14-10. Auburn's 14-9-1. Where you do see a difference, Tom, Alabama's 8-3 against the spread in the conference. Auburn is 5-6 against the spread in the conference. So it's going to be a great game. And here's the key. I think Auburn's got to somehow figure out a way to keep Alabama off the free throw line. They give up 23% of the points that Auburn gives up come from the opponent's free throw line. And if you want to know where that ranks nationally, that's 341st.
Yeah.
So
and Alabama's free throw
to keep Alabama off the free throw line.
Yeah, they had 40 some odd points or something like that, from the charity stripe, against Texas. Now, when you see a team that goes nuts the way they did Alabama, 62% shooting, 59% from the 3-point line. Does that have any bearing at all on the next game? Do you look at that and say, well, there's momentum and they're hot shooting, or does it not matter? When they tip it off at 3:00 tomorrow, nothing that they were doing Tuesday night is going to necessarily, correlate to what is going to happen tomorrow afternoon. Is that the way you look at it? Or do you look at it as, well, no, that's a real thing. When a team is hot, they can be hot like that for multiple games.
Well, you don't see teams get that hot very often in multiple games, but yeah, you do have to take it into consideration. But obviously, pulling that off in consecutive games is not something that you see very often. So it's not something I would spend a lot of time on. I would basically spend time looking at, whether is there value in the spread. I definitely think there's value in the total. It's probably going to be the highest total on the board tomorrow.
I still like it over.
And you may be inclined to say, well, we should probably take the under there, but actually, historically speaking, you would be better off taking the over. I guess where I see the value in this game, Tom, right now, I've got Auburn really on the money line. Really should be around -125, and right now you're seeing them at around +102 to +105, depending where you look. So at this point, until I see something that changes, the value I see here is just Auburn winning this game straight up, and you're getting +105 on that.
Is this a good enough gap that you would recommend this game, or is we just talking about?
I probably wouldn't put this game out, to be honest with you.
Right.
To the public. This is one of those games where I think maybe you go find your favorite watering hole, you gather up with the boys, throw a few darts and watch the game, or you get comfortable there at home in your favorite chair and sit back and just enjoy what really should be a fantastic basketball game Saturday.
We got any nuggets for this weekend? Anything that you're kind of liking, keeping an eye on tonight or into the weekend?
Yeah, there is something tonight. UCLA's going to Bloomington tonight to play the Indiana Hoosiers, which
Yeah.
I haven't quite jumped on the dumpster fire wagon here with Indiana yet. I think it's smoldering, but I'm not sure that it's a dumpster fire. They're 15-10 on the season, but they're 11-3 at home against the spread this year, and they're not, or 11-3 overall, and they're 9-5 at home against the spread. UCLA has struggled somewhat whenever they get out of the Pacific time zone. So you're probably seeing Indiana maybe grabbing a couple of points, 1.5 to 2 points tonight. And I wouldn't look at Indiana to win this game outright, but I would feel comfortable putting that out there with them getting a couple points at home tonight against the Bruins.
All right, so there you go. Man, I really appreciate you. We're doing a lot of work to get sports ready to go. People are going to be able to get it, and it's going to be available on the Odd Shopper platform, which is really kind of unique. I know you've been playing with it as we've been beta testing this thing. And what's kind of cool is that you can shop all of the odds right there from all the different places that you can get the number. And you're looking for differences there, too, because we see that all the time. Not everybody is going to have the same line. And sometimes, half a point or a point is going to make a big difference.
Yeah, it makes a tremendous difference when you're actually looking for value, because the thing with value bets, and sometimes you'll hear it referred to as an EV bet, the majority of those, it takes volume because oftentimes your margins are going to run a little bit lower than typical. So it takes volume. But when you can find that line, when you can get a minus 107 versus a minus 110, I mean, that makes a big difference in the long run.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a great opportunity, and we're tracking the picks. And what is it, 51.5%, something like that, to stay ahead of the VIG? Usually somewhere around there, 51.5%, 52%.
Over 52%.
We're running better than that. Yeah. And we've been certainly running more than in our beta testing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting hockey this weekend. You've got the I think USA and Canada tomorrow night. So.
We got USA and Canada tomorrow night in Canada, and it is going to be very interesting. Did you see last night they booed the U.S. national anthem throughout it? The cat calling and booing when they played the national anthem when the U.S. played Finland. Now, there were a lot of Americans in the crowd. They cheered at the end of it, but all during the anthem while it was playing, the Canadian people were booing and cat calling, and apparently they don't like this idea of potentially being the 51st state. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what the problem is.
You got to be careful before it could be their anthem.
Well, I'm just saying, I'd say we put a little maple leaf right in the middle of the field of stars. You know what I mean? Put a little maple leaf right in the middle on our flag, and we go ahead and bring them in. We get the Canadian bacon, we get the Molsons, we get the we get the maple syrup, some good fishing up there, and we bring them on board. You know what I mean? I mean, they'd be nuts. If I were them, I'd be trying to join us. I wouldn't even be. I know that. I mean, come on.
It's a win-win. I think it's a win-win.
Conversations around a 51st state are a non-starter. It's never going to happen.
Oh, shut up. I think you need to rethink that, Trudeau. I think he just needs to retreat. By the way, the Chubby Ninja hit the text window. He said the only acceptable mention of Valentine's Day between dudes is to remind the knuckleheads to get something for the girl or the wife in their life. No, my dad never wished me a happy Valentine's Day, thankfully, and I never wished any of my sons a happy Valentine's Day because we're dudes. Well, there you go. Chubby Ninja is hitting it right on the head.
I agree 100%.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Take care.
Dude. So there you go. Verification. No Valentine's Day wishes to dudes in your life.
I already knew this.
Dude doesn't wish dude a Valentine. Yeah, and then you went ahead and gave your roommate a Valentine's Day.
I didn't say happy Valentine's Day. I just wanted him to know that somebody is thinking about him. Not in a weird way.
Well, he's got a mother, doesn't he? He's got family. He's got other people. He's got a sister, maybe. I don't know. Did you give him like one of them cards that you get like that they give in kindergarten? A little Snoopy card.
No.
You tear it out like it's got the perforated edges, and it's one of them kind.
I'll admit, giving Valentine's Days to other dudes is a little bit weird. I always looked at it that way. All right, but people do it.
I didn't even do it in kindergarten.
I'm not even going to
I
judge.
didn't do it in school. My daddy, I remember my daddy telling me it was. I mean, like you know how in the first and the second grade and everything, and you're supposed to give everybody a Valentine. First of all, I always wanted to give just one girl a Valentine. I'm just going to give it to her. Why am I going to give every girl in the class a Valentine's card? So remember how in school everybody's supposed to give everybody a Valentine's card when you're like in kindergarten or first or second grade or whatever?
Not a box.
My father told me flat out. Yeah, you'd had that box, and when you had to tear them, you had to perforate them. They had to like the cut and the perforations, and my father told me, he says, you don't give any Valentines to the boys in your class. You just give them to the girls. And I went in there and I just gave them to the girls. And the teacher's like, how come you didn't give them to Billy and Jimmy and John? And I'm like, because my daddy said I don't give Valentines to boys.
Yeah.
And that was it. I don't care. I got a little demerit. I got like a B- in Valentine's Day card giving.
Who cares?
It's all right.
Pretty cool story, though. Back at Valentine's Day when I was in elementary school, I told this on the Blitz yesterday, but Mom used to help me make some stuff, a.k.a. the Junkyard Babe. And she used to make me a box that was able to hold a lot of the Valentines, and one of them was designed as Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 88 car, the amped energy drink car, and I remember getting the most Valentine's Day cards that year. So just so you know, how to tie it in back to the NASCAR that's behind you.
My funny NASCAR story for you is you had that. I gave you a Dale Earnhardt Jr. Budweiser number 8 backpack when you were a kid.
Dude, that thing was awesome.
You were maybe third or fourth grade. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
I had gotten it in a promotional thing or whatever, and it was Dale Earnhardt. It was red. It had Budweiser number 8, Dale Earnhardt Jr. And they confiscated it at school.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to wear it.
We had to go to school. We had a guy to go to school and get it. And I'm like, what are you doing? While you can't have a beer company backpack in primary. I'm like, the kid's not there to promote beer. He said, Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 8 car. They're like, come on.
Yeah, it's tough.
Feeling.
Even in the video games, they're not allowed to do that with the older ones. They just had Dale Jr. on them. That's all they had.
Oh, that's right.
In the red.
That's right. They didn't have it. All right. So us YouTube people that have YouTube TV, YouTube and Paramount agreed to a short-term deal to the extension to avoid a CBS blackout. All right. That's good. So now it was supposed to expire last. And now they've extended it. We don't know how long they extended it, but they're still working on getting a deal done. So we still got our CBS. That's good. That's a good job by them. All right, we're gonna break in here. When we come back, we'll tell you what's coming up in hour number 2. It's the Thom Abraham Show. More in a moment.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. For a limited time, GBank is offering a $250 bonus when you open a GBank Visa signature card. Apply today at vsin.com/GBank.
Auburn and Alabama meet tomorrow at the Coleman Coliseum. The top-ranked Tigers, a 1.5 dog at number 2 Alabama. The total quite high, 172.5. That is coming up tomorrow in college basketball. A battle of number 1 versus number 2 in Tuscaloosa. The 67th running of the Daytona 500 is Sunday. It's Ryan Blaney, the 10-1 favorite. Joey Logano and Chase Elliott, along with Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch, all at 12-1. The Truck Series opens its season today at Daytona. The fresh from Florida 250. Justin Haley 8-1. Michael McDowell plus 850. Corey Heim 9-1. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia if you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Sports Talk 24/7 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
Her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining.
All right, see some love songs.
She's so beautiful.
That was the plan.
I can identify it. Look, Valentine's Day love song. The plan was that I wouldn't know what it is.
Yes.
Is that what the plan is?
It's going to get worse.
I have no idea what that is. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what, to me, I would think when you say love songs, Valentine's Day, I thought we'd hear some Commodores, some maybe Lady in Red, Criss Cross, some of that stuff. But I've been having a hard time, no matter who's mixing the show lately, when I say give me classic wrestlers or classic love songs or whatever, I keep getting stuff, from the last 5 years. How old is that song?
That's
I think that song's very old.
No, I mean, for me, it's pretty old. 9 years ago.
How old is it?
9 years ago. So
9 years ago.
2013.
Yeah.
Around the time.
Yeah. Oh gosh, 2013.
Wow. Ancient.
Probably the newest. That's probably the newest song I ever played on the Thom Abraham Show. 2013. It sounds like 12 years old. All right, hour number 1 is in the hopper. Coming up, Jordan Bianchi will join us. We'll talk some NASCAR, and then we'll get back to your picks on this Valentine's Day edition of the Friday Trifecta. More Thom Abraham Show coming up right after this.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. After missing 2 days of spring training workouts, Yankees righty Marcus Stroman reported today, insisted he's ready to make 30-plus starts and will not pitch out of the bullpen. Problem, he is not projected to make New York's starting rotation. NFL, the Giants looking into the possibility of selling up to 10% of the team, putting a limited stake in the franchise on the market. A member of the Lions front office is leaving for Notre Dame. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Director of Scouting Advancement Mike Martin's finalizing a deal to become the GM of the Fighting Irish. He was part of Detroit's initial front office staff that helped rebuild the Lions roster. The Democratic Republic of Congo calling on the NBA, Formula One, and major international soccer clubs to end multi-million-dollar deals with Rwanda's autocratic government. The DRC's blamed Rwanda for a surge of violence in its own country.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Sometimes the coolest little gems are found a little off the beaten path, and that's exactly where you will find Hickory Store Barbecue. They are on Blake Bottom Road, just east of Jeff Road, and it's definitely worth the trip. The smokers are going on site daily, and they have the best smoked wings around. You'll love the fireplace and the covered patio, and best of all, Hickory Store Barbecue is locally owned and operated by the McAlpins. They even have rotating craft beer taps and live music weekly. Hickory Store Barbecue. Go see what you're missing. Blake Bottom Road in Monrovia. You'll thank me later.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
We are your home for March Madness.
Here comes Suggs, long three for the win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog. Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about. Be a dog. God bless the show. You are the Messiah. We need more dogs. This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you. So settle in and get your bark on. Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Dale McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my.
About to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. So glad that you are with us today. We do have our 500 Fecta going on. We do it every year. We give you a chance to give us 3 drivers, and whatever team with the highest aggregate finish will win our prize package for today. And this segment of the show is brought to you by the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. It's an award-winning service department. They're there for your routine checkups, but they're also there for all your bigger problems as well, for your Ford or other model. And their expert service technicians will quickly diagnose it and use state-of-the-art tools to get it resolved. And that goes from things like maintenance on checks and belts and hoses and fluids. Plus, they also do bigger stuff like air conditioner work, brake work, and training repair. Go to WoodyAndersonFord.com. Make your appointment today. And, those Fords look pretty strong last night in the duels. They also looked pretty good in qualifying as well. And Austin Cindric will be right there on the front row, and he got the win in the second duel last night. It was just bizarre, as I said in the first hour of the show, the way that whole thing played out. Jordan Bianchi covers NASCAR and motorsports for The Athletic, and he joins us from Daytona. Jordan, welcome back, and happy Valentine's Day, I guess, and happy Daytona season, right?
Yeah, nothing says romance like spending it in Daytona Beach. I think I've pretty much spent every Valentine's Day of my life, I think, in Daytona Beach at this point. So it's the way it is. And to your point about the Fords, this is what they do. They are really, really strong on super speedways. This has kind of been the case for a while. They draft really well together. You look at their roster of drivers, Joey Logano, defending Cup Series champion, Ryan Blaney, he won the title 2 years ago, Austin Cindric last night. They have some guys who are really, really good at managing these races, so they should be strong again on Sunday.
In that second duel, it would have been really interesting to see how it would have come out. Joey Logano seemed to be helping Cindric out quite a bit there. I'm not sure that he's not pushing and shoving and jumping in and trying to get around him if this is Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it's 100% accurate. I mean, if you look at this race compared to Sunday, it's a little bit more of I don't want to say chill, but you don't have the same desperation or the desire because you're looking at the bigger picture. And if you're Logano, you're like, you know what? Whether I finish second or third or fourth, that doesn't matter as long as I keep my car in one piece. And if I can help my teammate, that's even better too. So it's just kind of a big picture perspective. But come Sunday, you're not going to have that mentality. You're going to help your teammates as much as you can. But in the closing laps, well, they're on their own, and you're looking out for your own interests.
Yeah, and let's take me back to the end of that second duel there, because it was Cindric, it was Jones. They were neck and neck coming down to the line. Jones actually beats him at the line, and goes to get the flag, and he's standing there ready, and then they're stopping him, and then the next thing you know, when the yellow came out, by a hair, Cindric was in front. I guess the big question is, when you're 100 yards from the finish line, they're wrecking behind you, why are we throwing the yellow there? I mean, we can't wait just a second. I mean, literally a second for them to cross the checkers. I mean, what was the need to throw a yellow flag there when they were wrecking behind them, and they had 2.5 miles to slow down?
Yeah, fair question. And NASCAR's perspective on this is, and I'm not defending them, I'm just telling you what their perspective is that they determined that there was guys that hit the wall pretty hard. And when they see guys hit the wall hard, they want to dispatch safety vehicles to them as quick as possible. But they cannot dispatch safety vehicles while they're under, the green flag conditions. And so from their perspective, that second or two is a huge difference. And that's their goal at that point is forget about the race. Let's make sure we get, the safety workers to them. You would have maybe kind of liked to see them just wait a half a second there, and it could have, let them play out. I always defer to safety. If they feel like it was a safety thing, then so be it. But that's just the nature of it.
Yeah, that was the nature of it. There's no doubt about it. And I thought it was interesting too that in the case of Austin Cindric, I mean, he's on the front row either way. A lot of times you see in the duels, those guys will just go to the back and rim ride and keep their equipment right, but they let him race. I thought that was kind of good that he was able to go up there and race.
It was, and I think it's a good strategy because it kind of lets you simulate what the conditions are like on Sunday, and the only way you're going to really kind of figure things out, what your car can do and what moves you're able to make, is an actual race. And so kind of laying back, it's got some strategy, it makes sense to some degree for sure, but but you also want to have those reps and do it. And then in Chase Briscoe's case, who started on the pole, but then parked his car on duel number one, they had a little bit of damage to their car too, and he just didn't feel comfortable with where it was at. And I was like, you know what, we're just going to pull this thing in and make sure it's all good. So a little bit different philosophies, but everybody's got their own thing, and you just want to make sure at the end of the day your car is 100%. And I think if Cindric would have gotten in a position where he felt uneased, he felt like he was in a bad spot and something, he might wreck his car, he would have certainly backed off. But obviously he didn't feel like he was in that spot.
Toyotas look really strong as well, as you mentioned, being on a pole, and then you look at Bubba Wallace winning that first, duel, and he won it kind of going away. He led 21 of the 60 laps there, started in the middle of the pack, and then just came right up through and took the lead and led the rest of the way, which kind of sets up an awkward situation possibly for Sunday. I mean, you've got this battle going on between Michael Jordan's team, Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin's team, even though Denny doesn't run for his team, 2311. Bubba is their star. They've got a pretty good little stable there. Goodness gracious, can you imagine if Bubba Wallace were to win at Daytona 500 while Michael Jordan and 2311 are suing NASCAR? I mean, what a uncomfortable scenario that would be. That's like in the old days. That's like Pete Rozelle in the old days having to hand the Lombardi Trophy to Al Davis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's true. And we kind of went through this a little bit last year too, towards the end of the year. Wallace's teammate Tyler Reddick was competing for the championship. And so Reddick was in the championship race. And if he would have won that race, 2311 and Michael Jordan, everybody would have been on stage accepting a championship trophy from a league that they're suing. So yeah, interesting dynamic for sure. And I will say Bubba looks really good and very confident, and he runs Daytona extremely well. He's finished second in this race twice. He's come close to winning this other times as well. He is very good in super speedway races. He's won at Talladega before. If he can stay out of trouble, and that's kind of been the thing lately, he's kind of been safe there a little bit. If he can have a little bit of luck on his side and stay out of trouble, he's got a really good opportunity to get a win. And I will say that would be huge for NASCAR. Bubba moves the needle, and his popularity is such that it would be a boon to NASCAR and really be a big help NASCAR have a big start to its year.
What is the crux of the debate about? Because we just see the headlines, and you don't necessarily, some guy, your eyes glass over when you look at millionaires suing billionaires and everything else. So, what is the crux of the issue there with the charter for that team?
Yeah, I mean, basically it comes down to money and control. I mean, that's the gist of it, right? Is who's going to be able to get the most money and who's going to be able to control the sport. The teams, in this case, 2311 and Front Row, are contending that NASCAR is a monopoly and basically a dictatorship and doesn't let the teams operate in a manner that lets them be as profitable as they can be. And the NASCAR says, wait a second, you signed up for this. You agreed to these terms before. These are the same terms. And in fact, you're actually getting more money this time than you were last time. 13 teams agreed with us and signed the charter. You're just being effectively greedy and want to see ruin the sport. So
they are a monopoly, right? They are a monopoly. I mean, there is nobody, and there's where you're going to go. I mean, that's the deal. It's their thing. It's a private company. They're not publicly traded. It's the France family. It's their deal. They invented it. And, what do you want to do? You want to go someplace else? Go run on Friday nights at some local track. Go to Huntsville Speedway. You can run on Friday nights there for no money.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what NASCAR has said, which is like this: you want to be here, no one's forcing you to be here, and if you want to be in motorsports, you can go run other series. There's IndyCar or whatever. The teams are like, and then it goes back and forth, and teams are say this, and then NASCAR is going to say this. This is a long way to go before this is going to be concluded. There's a trial date set for December 1st. Right now, they're working through just the procedural stuff, and they've got discovery and everything. It's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, because at the end of the day, this is going to dictate what the future of NASCAR is in a big way. If actually, to your point, it's going to basically cement the France family saying, listen, this is it's a private business. As long as we're not breaking any laws, we're fine to operate it how we see fit. We're trying to make money here. And so it's going to really cement their control and how they rule things, and they've kind of ruled it a very certain way for 70 plus years. And that said, if the teams win, it's going to be fascinating to see what happens and the fallout from that, and what the penalties could be. I mean, it could be huge, massive financial penalties. A judge theoretically could order NASCAR to break up, where they can't own tracks in the league, and all sorts of different things. It could be a situation potentially where the France family looks at this and says, listen, this is not how we've operated this sport for so many years. We don't want to be part of this anymore. Maybe it's time for us to get out, and they sell. I mean, I had a conversation with somebody last night who's involved in this, and they were like, you know what, the owners should band together and maybe make Jim France an offer, and they can run it, So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. We got a long way to go to that, but it's been interesting so far, and it's going to only get more interesting.
So you got all kinds of storylines too that are, Chase Briscoe is in Ryan Truex's Martin Truex's old car. Martin Truex is in the race as a one-off, just like Jimmy Johnson is in the race as a one-off. And then there's the Justin Allgaier story as Junior Motorsports sticks their toe in the water. Is this the beginning of something? Are we going to see, 3 years from now, is Junior an owner in the Cup Series on a regular basis? Does he have a charter? What's going to happen there?
I mean, listen, in a perfect world, yes, he would like to, but he's also very adamant to do this unless the circumstances are right. And, they need probably a financial partner to come in and help underwrite some of the costs. They need a big time sponsor. Competitively, I think they're in a good spot and they could do it, but it's an expensive venture. I mean, these charters that guarantee you certain financial things are in the mid $20 million. That's a lot of money. Made a lot of money in his career, but he's also very smart on how he spends his money. And so it has to make financial sense. And so while they would like to, at this point, this is a one-off. And he's very adamant, like, this is it. Like, we've always wanted to run in the Cup Series. We're finally going to, dabble our toe in this, and we'll see what happens. But there are no guarantees. So as of now, expect it to happen, but stranger things have happened over the years.
Now he's got Chris Stapleton with him on the car with the Traveler whiskey, which is cool. Is Stapleton there? I mean, we seen him bumping around at all there at Daytona?
He will be there on Sunday. He hasn't been there yet, but he will definitely be here on Sunday.
Okay. Give me our listeners are picking 3 cars. All right. So give me 3 cars. If you're putting together a 3-car team for Sunday, give me your 3-car team.
Ryan Blaney, who's really, really good in these races, runs these well, as we talked about. Bubba Wallace, who also runs well here and is always competitive. And boy, the last one, I'm going to go a little bit of a sleeper on this, and I'm going to say Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky has won this in the 2023 Daytona 500. He's won at Talladega a couple of times. He's really good in these races as well. And then just real quick, I'm going to give you a 4th really quick. William Byron, the defending champion. He was really strong last night in this race. He won this race a year ago, puts himself in a good position. He's looking to become the first driver to go back-to-back since Sterling Marlin in the 1990s.
Who do you like for the season championship, for the title?
Oh, that's a hard one to pick. I mean, it's because
nobody would have thought Logano, in the middle of the summer, right? Nobody would have said Joey Logano's going to win again.
No,
but he did.
And that's the thing. And so at the end of the day, it's hard to bet against Kyle Larson. He's the best driver with the best team with the best crew chief, and they're going to win 4, 5, 6 races. They're going to lead a ton of laps. Whether that ends up manifesting itself into a championship or not kind of depends on a lot of factors. But he's going to be in the mix, and in this playoff format where it's really unpredictable, I'm just going to go with the guy who I know got the talent and the ability and everything behind him to happen.
I'm going to still say Logano's got the best looking car, though. I mean, that paint scheme they're running this weekend is sweet, man. Yeah. That is a good looking rig, man.
I will say this really quick. There are a lot of really good looking cars.
Yeah.
William Byron's car looks fantastic. It's incredible. It really looks like Gordon's old car from back.
Yeah. It does. And they changed a little bit too much for me now, because I like that, you could recognize immediately what they were. Everybody's got 3-4 different packages that they'll run on a car with sponsors, and you need that money. I get that. And then we'll talk about this later on in the season, but I'm a big time traditionalist, but I'm excited about this little 32 team bracket deal that they're doing in the middle of the season. I think that's going to be kind of cool. Take the top 32 drivers after 3 qualifying races, basically seed them and go bracket style. Like we're getting ready for March Madness. We'll have, what is it going to be? July Madness, I guess. And have them run, races within the race where it's just head to head, 2 guys.
Yeah. I think you've got nothing to lose with this. It's not going to change fundamentally the racing. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to alter the points championship or anything like that. This is just a cool mid-season thing, a race within a race. And if you can get people to get excited about some random races in the middle of the summer at a time when they may be tuning out, I'm all for it. So I think it's going to be a cool concept. I'm curious to see how this unfolds. But I think it's a good opportunity to try something. And you're like in a no-win proposition here. No lose proposition
here. And you look at, in the middle of the pack, one dude, their guys are head to head. One dude's running 20th, the other's running 14th, 6 laps to go. And that guy's trying to run them down. And, when normally you wouldn't necessarily have that. So I think it's going to bring some interest, throughout the pack. I think that's going to be the good part about it.
I agree. And I think the races, you look at it, which is at Atlanta, which is a super speedway and a really kind of a crazy race. I think there's going to be some fun with this, and I think it's going to give people a reason to kind of pay attention than they otherwise wouldn't.
Yeah. Jordan Bianchi has been our guest. Follow him on The Athletic. He's got everything covered, soup to nuts. We're going to try and grab him next week to wrap out a 500 as well as we move into NASCAR season. Jordan, I appreciate you as always, man. Great stuff.
No problem. We'll talk next week. See you, bud.
There you go, Jordan Bianchi. Love that guy. Does a tremendous job. He's been helping me for years on our NASCAR stuff. All right, we'll get a break in here. We'll come back. More of your picks. We'll get the phone lines open. It's the Thom Abraham Show on Valentine's Day. Back with more right after this.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. For a limited time, GBank is offering a $250 bonus when you open a GBank Visa signature card. Apply today at vsin.com/GBank.
Auburn and Alabama meet tomorrow at the Coleman Coliseum. The top-ranked Tigers, a 1.5 dog at number 2 Alabama. The total quite high, 172.5. That is coming up tomorrow in college basketball. A battle of number 1 versus number 2 in Tuscaloosa. The 67th running of the Daytona 500 is Sunday. It's Ryan Blaney, the 10-1 favorite. Joey Logano and Chase Elliott, along with Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch, all at 12-1. The Truck Series opens its season today at Daytona. The fresh from Florida 250. Justin Haley 8-1. Michael McDowell plus 850. Corey Heim 9-1. For more, go to vsin.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Our customers want best-in-class solutions. That's why we've recently added many new vendors like Zebra Barcode Printer. Our next level team has added premier automation solutions. We're not here to sell you just one product, and we love helping you find the right solution for your specific needs. That's what doing the right thing is all about. And that's why our customers have come back for over 50 years.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and this is What's Happening. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device, so you can take us wherever you might go. And you can also check out our latest zone deals. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. The top left banner reads, "Savings never tasted so good." Click on that, then enter in the big zone deal store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Sea Salt, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We drop into the mid-upper 40s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. Mostly cloudy, overcast sky Saturday afternoon. We're also going to be incredibly warm. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s. Better opportunity for widespread showers and thunderstorms Saturday night and then early into Sunday morning. Some of those thunderstorms could be on the strong or severe end of the spectrum. Looks like the biggest concern is going to be the threat for some additional heavy rain, which could lead to some additional flooding, and then the threat for some gusty, damaging winds. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Yeah, welcome back. Thom Abraham Show. Phone lines are open now, 256-576-4977. All right. Let me reset the trifecta for you today. Remember, we're not doing a trifecta. The next trifecta we'll do will probably be opening weekend of baseball. And then the next one after that will be the Masters. So we don't do them every weekend now, all right? We don't do them every weekend. But we have such a huge weekend of sports that is coming up this weekend that I thought we need to do one for this weekend. And when I talked to Jordan, full disclosure, he was tied up, and I needed to talk to him a little bit before. I talked to him right before the show. And at that point in time, I was going to do 3 drivers. I was going to do 3 drivers. That was what I was going to do. And then I changed my mind. And I decided to and I was going to use the Alabama-Auburn game as the tiebreaker. But I scrapped all of that. And I decided to go with Auburn. War Eagle. Plus 1.5 against Alabama.
Time.
And then tomorrow night, 4 Nations hockey, the USA. In a pick'em at Canada.
Conversations around a 51st state are a non-starter. It's never going to happen.
And then I took and said, look, in the race, instead of picking a car, just give me a manufacturer, because everybody loves their manufacturer. So you could pick either Ford, Canada, or Chevy. Ford did I say Canada? Ford, Toyota, or Chevy. Ford and Toyota won the 2 duels last night, but there's more Chevys in the field than anything else, including the Hendrick cars. Half of the field are Chevys. So you pick Ford.
Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car.
Or Chevy.
No, he didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
Or Toyota.
Does that feel good? Yeah. It rhymes. They're both verbs. Awesome.
So there you go. Who knows? Next year, you might have Dodge back in there. Might have. John, are you hearing about Nissan coming in, possibly? Have you been hearing that Nissan wants to get in?
I have. It's actually pretty interesting. I wonder which car they're going to bring.
The Sentra is what I think. But I'm old school. I think this should be all American made. This is the all American sport. This is the great American race. We got Toyota going to win a great American race? It doesn't even sound right. Oh, I know they're made in Alabama, or like Tony Stewart said when he was with Joe Gibbs Racing and they switched from Chevy to Toyota and everybody went nuts. So like Tony Stewart's going to be driving a Toyota. And he said, people, it's just stickers. It's like there's nothing on this car that's a Toyota other than the stickers. Well, it's not really true. Because the publicity, the money goes back to Japan. I know that they're built in Alabama and they have, manufacturing plants here. It's like they got the Nissan plant in Winchester. I get it. There's a Nissan plant in Winchester. The biggest employer in Winchester is Nissan. I get it. But where does that money go? At the end of the day, they send the money to Japan. I mean, if it were me, back in the day, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Chevy. I mean, you had at least 3 GM brands running. You had Plymouth and Dodge running. All right. So you had 2 Chrysler brands running, Plymouth and Dodge. And I think with Ford, they ran the Thunderbird. And I can't think of what else if Ford ran anything else. I think I know they ran the Thunderbird for years. And then they switched to the Mustang. Of course, Chevy ran the Lumina. They ran the SS. Now they're running a Camaro. They ran different brands, but they're all Chevys. But there was the Buick and there was the Pontiac. And you could look on the track and you could tell the cars based on what they look like. You could tell by the rear post that was a Buick, or the rear window that was a Pontiac or a Monte Carlo, which they ran for years, Chevy. So and then when Thunderbird came out with the fastback, Bill Elliott dominated. He won like 9 races one year. And everybody else had to square back. The Monte Carlo had to square back. The Buick, the Pontiac had a square back at that time. And Thunderbird had a fastback, long rear window. It wasn't like it is now, John, with the template. They have the template now.
Yeah.
Now they have a template in like each car's, they're all pretty much the same.
Well, it's
the
not
aerodynamics and everything else. Back then they were totally different.
Not a template anymore. They switched from the template to that whole laser graph type of thing back in, I think it was 2022. Yeah. But I mean that's their template now. It's just lasers.
It's a laser template. It's not a template like in the old days when it was but they had. I'm telling you, back then, cars you could tell from a million miles away. You go watch some NASCAR from the 70s, and you'll see the Roadrunner, the Plymouth Roadrunner. It had a big wing on the back. You know what I mean? Nobody else. Hey, there's Richard Petty in a Roadrunner. Yeah.
Reminds me of Cars.
They look different.
The movie. Yeah. The movie, yeah.
Exactly. Let me get my cousin Vinny in here. Vincenzo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thom, I am great. And you?
I am fantastic.
Well, that's the best news I've heard all day. But it's early.
There you go.
And I want to thank Ken Cool for playing a little Motley Crue with the bumper music there. Not going into this segment. That gets your hair curling, don't it?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think what the method to the madness was there. What's with the Motley Crue? John, was that a love song? What was that?
Kickstart My Heart.
My heart. See, Kickstart My Heart. You see?
So
he's that heart. Valentine's. Okay, that's a reach. But yeah, that's a good one. I thought you were doing it because of the lead singer of Motley Crue. His plane, his plane, what's his name? Neil, what's the lead singer? Neil, I forget his name now. His plane crashed with another Neil on the tarmac.
Oh, no kidding.
Crazy. Yeah, you didn't hear about that? His plane crashed. It was neither one of them were on the plane. It was Neil It was no, not Neil. Vince. What's the lead? Vince Neil. Okay, see, there you go. Vince Neil, getting old sucks.
It was
Vince Neil, and it was Vince Neil and Vince Vaughn. I mean, think about that. 2 Vinces. It was Vince Neil and Vince Vaughn. Their planes crashed. The private planes crashed into each other on the tarmac. Somebody got killed. There was one person killed and 3 or 4 injured, but they neither one of them were on the plane. But their planes crashed on the. Did you see this, John? Look it up. Vince Neil's plane crashing into like Vince Vaughn's plane. It's crazy. Vincent D'Onofrio was not involved in it. So there you go.
Okay, and Nikki Sixx wasn't flying the plane.
No, Nikki was not flying.
That's a good thing.
There was no illicit drugs involved. You know, you start thinking about those guys, are wondering about that stuff. You know what I mean?
That's real good. Real good. Anyway, let's do this Spectre thing. Let's get.
Right.
I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to win one.
All right. So Auburn. By the way, you're playing. All y'all are playing for $50 of Carrabba's Italian Grill. That doesn't suck. Auburn gets 1.5 at Alabama.
I'm taking Alabama, Tom.
Roll
time. I'm giving you a score. All right, 92-80.
172. You're right on the total. The total on that game is 172.5. So you are stuck. You are right on the total. Yeah.
92-80.
All right. Tomorrow night, Four Nations hockey, the USA at Canada, and there's a lot of bitterness going on right now between the USA and Canada, and it's going to manifest itself in this hockey game. I guarantee it.
Hey, this Matthews kid that plays for
the USA,
Toronto. He's an American, huh?
He's American, and every time he touches the puck, they boo him in Montreal because Montreal's big rival is Toronto. So it's like Montreal and Toronto are just huge rivalries. He's a Maple Leaf, and they hate each other so much. I think they hate each other more than they hate the USA. That Canada hates the USA. And every time Austin Matthews touches the puck, they boo him, it's pretty funny. But it's just going to be. This is going to be something with Canada and the U.S. in Montreal. They'll probably meet again in Boston for the championship next weekend. But tomorrow night, it's a pick 'em.
Well, the Canadians aren't mad because of the 51st state thing. They're mad because Trump's throwing a bunch of tariffs. So I'm taking the USA.
Yeah, but they threw 100% tariff on the U.S. on their stuff, the auto industry and things like that. So I don't know if it's the tariff. I don't think the average Canadian is thinking that much about the tariffs. They're not thinking about tariffs. They just don't like the fact that he's saying you guys would be better off if you were in a 51st state. Hey, we're losing $200 million. Hey, he says it. The trade deficit, $200 million. Is it 200 million or 200 billion? 200 million, I think.
Well, it doesn't matter because the prime minister over there is an idiot. So, anyway.
Yeah, he is an idiot. He says, though, that there's no chance.
Conversations around a 51st state are a non-starter. It's never going to happen.
Never going to happen. That's what he said. We'll see.
Yeah, and they also said the Russians will never play in the NHL. So
there you go. All right, in the Daytona 500, Ford, Chevy, or Toyota?
Okay, well, I drive a Toyota because it's a company car.
Yeah.
All right, but before long, when I semi-retire here, they're going to sell it to me for $1. I'm going to take it up to Woody Anderson and trade it in for a Ford. All right, so I've got to take Chevy.
No, he didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
Threw me a curveball there. I thought for sure I had the X right over Ford. I thought, well, he's going to Woody Anderson. I'm about to hit the Ford, and then you go Chevy.
Well, I got to play the numbers, Tom.
Yeah. Well, they got Hendrick too, and they've got. Kyle Larson's a Chevy, and they've got some great cars in there too. But we'll see. All right, man. Appreciate you. I'm at a Fords because I'm a Penske guy.
I got you.
Who are you pulling for this year? Because your guy went someplace else. He's not even running now, is he? Or where is he?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Noah Gragson. He kind of just disappeared.
What happened to Noah Gragson?
Well, he was a part of a company that was slowly but surely dying, and
he was running for Tony Stewart. He was running for Stuart Haas.
Yeah.
But how did Noah Gragson not get a gig? Did he not get a ride?
I haven't really looked too much into it because I kind of got out of NASCAR 75% through. But no, I'm back in it. Don't worry. The beginning of the season always gets me hyped up, but I'm still riding with the 10 car, even though I'm having a tough time remembering who was driving it.
Well, you drive a Mustang. Come over to the Mustangs.
I thought it was no. Yeah. I don't think it was.
No.
I don't know. This is how out of it I am when it comes to NASCAR.
You are Italian, and you have a Mustang. Joey Logano.
I was driving
What's the matter with you?
I went for him last year. I can't do it
again. It's the best looking car on the circuit right now.
You gotta give me some time with that one. I'll pick the best one. I believe. Keselowski.
What about Junior's car?
Keselowski had the coolest one last year.
What about Junior's car? He Junior Motorsports made the deal. The number 40 card.
Oh, the 40. Yeah. Well, it's
car.
Good for him.
You know who's sponsoring the car?
I saw the 40 on it. And I saw that they made it into the big race.
Whiskey. Yeah. You know who the sponsor is on the car?
Who is it?
Chris Stapleton.
Really?
With his whiskey.
That's typical Dale Earnhardt Jr. then.
Yeah. I mean, Dale Earnhardt. It's funny though because Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s got that. What's his little town called? Whiskey Creek or something like that. What he calls that thing?
Yeah, Whiskey Creek.
Whiskey something.
I'm trying to figure out who is driving the 10 car this year because I know it shifted. It's not. The whole thing with the number 19 car not being
the 10 car is Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon. That's why I'm not hyped about that. But at the
Chevy.
same time, if he does well this season, he might gain a fan. I just love following the number 10.
Yeah, it's Ty Dillon. Not now.
It's the better.
I must say the best looking car on the track is Austin Dillon's Bass Pro Shops number 3 Chevy because of the fact that it's got the 3 and Bass Pro Shops and it's all in camouflage. I mean, it is a good looking car. It's just Austin Dillon is,
I agree with that. What's funny is there's the whole Michael Jordan owning that, team over there. What is it? 23 or whatever. But the 45 car, of course, Tyler Reddick. And then you look over at Jimmy Johnson and he's got the Shaq logo on his car. So I see these two cars going and I'm thinking, oh, that's about right. Shaq was a beast back in the day, and now he makes shoes that are very cheap and affordable. And you get Jimmy Johnson. It's just like it's the not good version of what NASCAR is now, even though it's just NASCAR now. Jimmy Johnson's a little bit more of the past, and he's driving the Shaq car.
Jimmy Johnson running in a Toyota, it looks so weird. It looks so strange. It just doesn't. It doesn't look right. I mean, I Jimmy, and what's the car, number 84?
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Johnson driving the number 84 Toyota. I know it's a team he's a part owner in. You know what that is? That's Aaron Rodgers playing for the Jets. That's Johnny Unitas playing for the Chargers. You know what I mean? That's Tony Dorsett as a Denver Bronco. That's one of those deals.
Randy Moss on the Titans.
Randy Moss playing for the Titans, getting $3.4 million for, 3 catches. I mean, it's just. I'm with your older brother. He likes the 2 and the 22. Penske, those are Penske's.
Mm-hmm.
I like them all. I like the 2 to 12 and the 22. I take the 2 to 12 and the 22. I like the 3 2. He says he likes the 3 2, but that's because we're Earnhardt people. We are Earnhardt people. So that's that I get that. I get that.
It's interesting. I might actually.
Come on.
I might become a Chase Briscoe fan just because he's driving that 19 car.
It's a Toyota.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Can't pull for a Toyota.
I don't want to like the Toyotas. I just do.
Listen, boy. What did I tell you? You don't wish another man happy Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And you don't pull for Toyota in NASCAR. You just don't.
At the
okay, I'm sorry.
Of the hour
Toyota
says
people,
otherwise.
I'm sorry. I did wish him a happy. I did wish. I did. I wish Jordan Bianchi. I did. I wish Jordan Bianchi. Yeah, that was a bad job by me.
Gotcha.
Chubby Ninja hit the text window. Attaboy, producer man. The crew for Valentine's Day.
Hang out with the homies.
There you go. He says Mercury is Ford And they ran the Cyclone. Yeah, I know Mercury is full. Also, they did. They had some Ford had multiple cars back in the day too. Then, yeah, but Plymouth was running. What was Plymouth running? They were running a Roadrunner. They were running a Charger. They were running everything. The Super B, and then Plymouth Super B out there. Maybe I said Mercury. I don't think I associated them to them, but I don't know. I'm random today. I'm off my game today. I'm on my boy Joe Hunk today, so I'm off my game. I mean, I got my boy today, but I don't have my boy Joe Hunk today that I'm used to.
You'd wish him a happy Valentine's Day.
I would not wish the Mohawk a happy Valentine's Day. I would not.
He's not your type.
I wouldn't. Yeah, no. I wouldn't. Side note, want to get this in here because I want to get it off my sheet. So far this year, how big was the Caitlin Clark influence for women's basketball, NCAA women's basketball? Listen to these numbers. So far this year, viewership of NCAA women's basketball games on ESPN's platforms is averaging 234,000 viewers. We'll have more for the fishing tournament next week. 234,000 viewers, down 18% versus the same point last year. Fox is averaging 699,000 for its games this year, its Chicks games this year, which is down 24% from last year. And the trend is similar to what Caitlin Clark's effect on the NBA has been. The two playoff games with the Indiana Fever in them, her WNBA team, averaged 2.2 million viewers. Keep in mind, their national championship game, when Caitlin Clark and Iowa was in the national championship game last year, their national championship game hit 14 million. The same as the men. Their two playoff games averaged 2.2 million viewers, and the entire postseason of the WNBA averaged 1.1 million. So if you take the Indiana Fever's games out of there, they're getting like 600,000 or 700,000 viewers for WNBA playoffs. And these chicks are getting ready to, they opted out of their CBA. They want more money. They want better makeup. They want better locker rooms. They want to fly on private jets, which they actually got. They lost $40 million last year. The NBA owners want to shut the league down. They lost $40 million. Now with the new TV deals, maybe that's going to straighten up. We'll see. You know what the rallying cry was last year? If they lost $40 million? Well, we were projected to lose $50 million. They're acting like because they lost $40 million instead of $50 million, like they made $10 million. Because they didn't lose $50 million. And somebody, for the life of me, can somebody explain the Caitlin Clark obsession? John, you're a young man. She's just a little bit younger than you. Do you find Caitlin Clark to be an attractive woman?
I don't think it's about
Do you find her game... do you think her game is that she's a unicorn? What is so... I mean, I know she's a great shooter and stuff like that. She's not Pistol Pete Maravich. Is it because she's white and everybody else in the league is black and she's the only white girl in the entire league?
Jeez.
I mean, what is it? Is it race? Is it looks? Is it her game? Is her game that great that, she wasn't the MVP of the league? What is it?
Phones. That's what it is.
I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, we'll get a break. When we come back, final segment of the show, final chance to get in. 256-576-4977 will get you into the show. Thom Abraham Show, back with more right after this.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
It's laundry season at Owen Home Appliance Center. Tired of that washer walking out the door and having to dry a load 2 or 3 times? It's time for a new washer and dryer. Pick from brands like Maytag, GE, Whirlpool, Electrolux, and of course, Speed Queen. Try the new 2-in-1 GE Profile that washes and dries a load all in one machine. Visit the interactive location in Lacey Springs where you can try the washers and dryers before you buy them. Owen Home Appliance Center. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day, Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You walked into the party like you were walking to a yacht. Your hat strategically dipped below one eye. Your scarf was apricot. You had one mirror.
Wait a minute, are you talking about me here?
No. I just went 70s. I just picked.
I thought you went.
No, I just picked a random.
But you're
song.
saying I'm vain,
No,
you know.
I just picked a.
I'm not so vain.
You're so vain. You probably think that
Golly, I could listen to that song all day long.
You know what I hate? I hate that I cannot remember who that is. And I know who it is, and I'm going to kill myself for not remembering who that is. Is it? Wait a minute! Don't say it. Helen Reddy.
No.
Helen Reddy. I'm going to hate myself when you say it. It's not the Carpenters. Who is it? He doesn't know.
It is Carly Simon.
Oh, Carly Simon. That's right. James Taylor Squeeze. Your mother was into all that stuff back in the day. She was a big Carole King, Carly Simon, James Taylor fan. While I was listening to Molly Hatchet and Skinnerd and Marshall Tucker Band and Allman Brothers, your mother was listening to Carly Simon, Carole King, and Helen Reddy and James Taylor.
It's great music. Where do you think I learned about it?
You didn't learn about Molly Hatchet and Skinner and all of that stuff too?
I of course I did.
Oh.
I'm just saying. It was like, where do you think I pulled out the Carly Simon out of? Had to
This
bring it up.
this segment of the show is brought to you by the TOC. If you have orthopedic problems and are considering professional care, or if you have a dislocated son, like apparently I have, TOC is the only logical choice. whether it's a work-related injury or you got sideline playing a sport you love, you need the best care, the best physicians, the best facility to get you back in the game. And I think you'll agree that the Orthopedic Center is right for you. Stay in the game with TOC. All right, let's go to the lines. Final swing through the calls. We start with the Porch Dog. Porch Dog, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Tom?
I am fantastic.
I know you are, but I still ain't going to wish you a happy Valentine's.
No, I don't. To you either.
We're
no,
old.
not non-happy Valentine's Day to you. No happy Valentine's Day to you.
Yeah, no happy Valentine's for you either. So,
yeah, there you go.
I want to get on this thing.
All right. Auburn gets 1.5 in Tuscaloosa.
Well, roll tide.
Roll tide.
Roll
tide. Roll tide, said Avery Johnson. The U.S. is a pick'em at Canada, 4 Nations tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, USA.
You know what's funny is some of the people that are picking online, they're taking Canada. The people that are going on the air, nobody going on the air will say Canada. Some of the people that are going online, like they're embarrassed, they don't want to say it, but they're saying Canada. I mean, look, it's at Canada, and they're going to be fired up. All right, into 500, Ford, Chevy, or Toyota?
It's going to be Chevy. Kyle Busch going to win the thing.
No, he didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing's son is racing.
All right, got you in, Porch Dog.
Hey, I appreciate you. Have a great day.
I think the day after Valentine's Day should be Grumpy's Day. Be like Happy Grumpy Day. Grumpy's up next. Grumpy, welcome in. How are you?
Pretty good, man. I thought those days were over, but I guess I'm still chasing the crack hoe.
Listen, you are. Yes, you are. You owe me something, by the way. Would you please send it to me so you know what I mean? We can take care of it.
Okay. Yeah. And the only reason Krakow beat me was there was 2 weeks when I didn't get my picks in. So, guys, you got to get your picks in every week. There was 2 weeks where I just totally forgot.
You had 14 points in the Super Bowl, and but you only had 1 point going in, and you end up losing by 5 points. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go. I'm trying to win something here, so let's go Alabama because they're playing at home.
By the way, it ended up being, just so you know, it ended up not being the crack hoe, although I did take care of him. It ended up being it was Bama Brad who nipped the crack. Okay. Bama Brad who nipped the crack hoe, and he's taken his kids and Wolverine Dan, and they're all going to.
Okay, well, I'm glad he's taking his kids. Hey, I'll go with Canada.
You're gonna take. Did you take Auburn or Alabama?
I took Alabama because of their home team, and I'll take Canada because they're their home team.
Tide. Conversations around a 51st state are a non-starter. It's never going to happen.
And Ford, Chevy, or Toyota in the 500.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but it feels like Ford, but I'm going to go with Chevy because there's more cars in the heat, and there's going to be a wreck and all that. Chevy.
Does that feel good? Yeah. It rhymes. They're both verbs. Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's you can't go wrong. Thanks for the call. You can't go wrong on any of the three. Really, the Fords are very, very strong. This is the most balance that I have seen in a long time in the 500 in terms of Ford, Chevy, and Toyota. Well, because there's some great Toyotas in there, and you got, you had Bubba Wallace in a Toyota run away with his duel, but you have a Toyota on the Chase Briscoe's running a Toyota, and he's on the pole. And then you've got the Fords of Logano and Cindric. Cindric is on the outside front row. Logano is Logano, and you got some other great Fords in there. And then the Chevys, you get the Hendrick team, along with some others. So, it's a very, very well balanced deal. Check that. Hal is next. Hal, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You get your gutters up?
I did. I did.
Have you got any big trees like cedars or oaks near your house?
I have an oak that's right alongside my house and an oak that's right alongside my guest house out back, and they're just filthy trees, man. They just
they are. Like I got the same system like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And my trees, it's not the leaves, it's the pollen that clogs up those filters.
Well, I'm hoping that the leaf filter, it looks like a really good product, and I'm hoping that the leaf filter is going to kind of deal with that pretty good with those trees. I got maple trees in the front. I got the 2 big oak trees that are just more dirty than they are anything else. And the oak tree, one oak tree is alongside the house got to be 200 years old, and it just drops all kinds of limbs and stuff. But these leaf filter caps are they're kind of like the corners at Talladega, the banking at Talladega. They're self-cleaning. They just kind of stuff just runs right off of them. So hopefully, for 20 GER, hopefully it'll work out good
for you.
Yeah, I hope it does. So,
work for you.
Yeah. All right, Auburn.
Trifecta, boss.
Auburn gets 1.5.
Alabama turns the ball over too much. I'm going to go with Auburn.
War Eagle.
U.S. at Canada.
I'm going to go with the home team.
Conversations around a 51st state are a non-starter. It's never going to happen.
Just take the home team. Ford, Chevy, or Toyota in the 500?
I'll go with Chevy.
Shake it back! Does that feel good? Yeah, it rhymes. They're both verbs. Awesome.
All right, Hale, that's a good job by you. The rest of you want to get in on this deal, you can get in on it right up until the tip tomorrow by hitting the text window. Just go ahead and text me at 732-982-7469. That's 732-9TA show, and we'll get you in. For John, who mixed the show, I am Thom Abraham. Paul Feinbaum is next. Have a great day, everybody.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. After missing 2 days of spring training workouts, Yankees righty Marcus Stroman reported today, insisted he's ready to make 30-plus starts and will not pitch out of the bullpen. Problem, he is not projected to make New York's starting rotation. NFL, the Giants looking into the possibility of selling up to 10% of the team, putting a limited stake in the franchise on the market. A member of the Lions front office is leaving for Notre Dame. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Director of Scouting Advancement Mike Martin's finalizing a deal to become the GM of the Fighting Irish. He was part of Detroit's initial front office staff that helped rebuild the Lions roster. The Democratic Republic of Congo calling on the NBA, Formula One, and major international soccer clubs to end multi-million-dollar deals with Rwanda's autocratic government. The DRC's blamed Rwanda for a surge of violence in its own country.
Hi. It's Saturday Prime Time, presented by Wingstop, and a Sunday Showcase doubleheader, presented by Popeyes. Next Saturday,